Yo, what's up, Virgo? Welcome to monthly forecast for the month of April 2018. Virgo, a lot of important astrology happening again this month. We've got your ruler, which is turning direct. Your ruler is Mercury. It's been retrograding since March 22nd. It's going to turn direct on April 15th. So this is going to be helpful for your communication process. Then we have Chiron, which is going to be changing signs on April 17th. And this is an epic one because Chiron doesn't change signs very often, and I'm going to get more into that later in the forecast. And then on April 17th, also we have Saturn, which is going to be going retrograde, and we have Pluto, which is going to go retrograde on April 22nd. And the Sun is going to be in an area for you, Virgo, throughout the month of April 2018. This area has to do with your shared resource situation, has to do with shared finances, joint financial ventures, business partnerships, deals, negotiations, contracts, investments. So there's a lot of stuff that falls under this area of the sky for you, Virgo. So you're going to have your concentration focused on any of the things that I just mentioned for the first 3 weeks of April. And the sun is going to shift on April 19th, and it's going to move into an area for you that has to do with faraway places, foreign cultures, spirituality. I'm not saying that all Virgos are going to go jet setting following April 19th, but some of you might. A few of you might have a distant location for some reason. It's somewhere in your future for some reason. And for others of you, potentially just know people from faraway places. Or for others of you, maybe this is somebody local, but they're from a cultural background that's different from yours, who's going to figure more prominently into your life. Or, others of you have some sort of spiritual involvement or know somebody spiritual potentially. Maybe your attention is going to be a little bit more drawn to this person following April 19th when the sun shifts. But those are the main themes for you, Virgo, for the month of April 2018. Now I'm going to talk about some more specific major astrological events that are set to occur this month and what they mean for you. Right off the bat, on April 2nd, Mars will align with Saturn. So you have Mars and Saturn aligning in the same part of the sky, and they're in an area that for you that has to do with your love life, Virgo. And Mars wants to push ahead and Saturn wants to put the brakes on. So I'd say that this aspect is saying, Virgo, I know that you love to just like when you're in love, Virgo, you just like to put your whole self into it and you like to forge ahead. And some of you, I'm not like some of you are a little bit like when you get in love, some of you get a little bit obsessed, and that might be because of the influence of Pluto. Pluto is in this area, and this is like almost like Saturn saying like put the brakes on a little bit. You know what I mean? Like love is a gradual process that needs to, you need to take your time with it. And like so there might be a little bit of a stop go type of energy going on there, because like I said, you're more like with Mars in this situation where when you're in love, you just want to forge ahead with your love situation. But Saturn's just putting the brakes on for you, and it's saying, slow it down, Virgo. You're going to get there eventually. On April 4th, Mercury, your ruler, is retrograding. It's aspecting Mars. So this one is, potentially you're communicating with, somebody you're in love with, and potentially this might have to do with a shared resource situation, or it might have to do with a contract of some sort for some of you, or for others of you, this might have to do with a business deal or negotiation of some sort. And for others of you, if that's not the case, then maybe this is more about something creative. Maybe there's a creative contract there. Maybe there's creative ways that you can approach a business partnership. Maybe there's something that has to do with creativity and an investment. So it could be a conversation that might come up on April 4th. On April 7th, Venus will aspect Saturn positively. And this is a great one because if you are looking to go somewhere far away, then, right around this time, April 7th, is probably a great time for you to do it. So, potentially this could be a trip that you and whoever you're in love with, you and this person could go on that trip together. And if that's not the case, maybe for others of you who are single, I mean, if you're single, you might have an attraction to someone who's in a faraway place. You might have an attraction for someone who's from a cultural background that's different from yours. You might be attracted to somebody who has a prominent heritage of some sort. Maybe you're attracted to someone who seems sort of spiritual. So there's different options out there for you single Virgos, but something positive can happen on April 17th. And especially if you're single, Saturn is there saying, Virgo, there's some level of permanency with whoever you're interacting with right around this time. On April 11th, the Sun will aspect Jupiter, which is retrograding. And Jupiter's in an area that has to do with your communication, and the Sun's in this area that has to do with shared resource situation. And on April 11th, they're making an angle to each other that has to do with it's maybe some adjustments need to be made. So you might be communicating about adjustments that need to be made in the shared resource situation. If that's like, who do you share your stuff with, Virgo? So maybe there's a conversation there that's taking place. For others of you, this might be adjustments that need to be made regarding an investment of some sort, or very specifically, obviously not all of you have a contract of some sort factoring into your lives, but if you do, there might be adjustments that need to be made regarding this contract. On April 15th, Mercury, your ruler, will finally turn direct. So it's been retrograding since March 22nd. And especially because you are ruled by Mercury, this probably made your communication process a little bit more difficult. And maybe you just had to more cautiously proceed with the way you were trying to get your message across, since Mercury was retrograding on March 22nd, and now it's going to move forward on April 15th. And I'd say that mostly this has to do with communicating within a shared resource situation. Maybe this has to do with communicating about an investment or a contract of some sort, or for others of you, this might have to do with a business deal or a negotiation. So I'd say communicating about any of the aforementioned will be a lot easier once Mercury turns forward again on April 15th. Also on April 15th, we have the new moon. And this new moon's in this area of shared resources, shared finances, business contracts, deals, negotiations. So this is new stuff coming in regarding all the things that I just mentioned. So if you're single, I'm not saying that you're definitely going to see someone come into your life in the 6 months that follow the new moon on April 15th, because that's the way a new moon works. It's going to hit on April 15th. The 6 months that follow April 15th, new stuff is coming into your life regarding any of the things that I just mentioned. Now, if you are single, there may be someone that comes into your life who you're eventually going to share your resources with, eventually going to share your finances with. It's not definite, but it's a possibility. And if that's not the case, then others of you might have new opportunities regarding a contract, a business deal, some sort of negotiation, maybe some business partnership. So something new coming down the line in the 6 months that follow April 15th. On April 17th, this is the big one. Chiron is changing signs, and this is huge. Chiron's an asteroid in our solar system that has a lot to do with sensitivity. And the way I'm looking at this aspect, I'm like seeing it like differently for two groups of you. And I'm just going to talk about how this transit's going to take place, and then I'm going to talk about what it means. But it's going to shift into this area of shared resources for you, Virgo, on April 17th. And then eventually it's going to go retrograde on July 5th. It's going to retrograde so much, it's going to move back into your area of relationship on September 25th, and then it'll be retrograding in that area until December 9th. It'll start to move forward again in your area of relationship on December 9th, and then eventually it's going to move forward again, and it's going to move back into it's going to move forward again into your sector of shared resources, where it will be there until April 14th, 2027. This is a whole new chapter coming in for you, Virgo, regarding sharing your stuff with somebody else, or combined asset situations, potentially investments, business deals, contracts, negotiations. Even your sex life plays a factor into this area of the sky. This area of the sky also rules your sex life too. So to get back to what I was saying before I explained how the transit is going to take place, well, I'm seeing it like a couple of different ways. Like there's like one group of you who have been in a shared resource situation for a while, and when Chiron moves into this area, it's going to be like there's going to be a level of sensitivity that comes with this shared resource situation. It's if you've been with somebody for a while, it's like, are you feeling sensitive because, well, are you still going to be with them? So, I'm not saying that's going to be the case for all of you. I'm not saying that Chiron's going to move into this sector of the sky and all of a sudden there's going to be breakups and stuff. No, well, maybe there is for a few of you, and maybe that's the reason why you're going to be sensitive for so many years. because of this, because maybe somebody was important to you and for some reason it didn't work out. Now, that's obviously not the case for all of you. So, like I said, for the other group of you, potentially this might be like some sort of new shared resource situation. And Chiron's extended visit to this area might be highlighting the fact that, well, Virgo, this is a new chapter of someone who you're combining your assets with, someone who you're sharing your resources with. And this is really important. On April 17th, Saturn is also going to go retrograde. And it won't turn direct until September 6th. And, R for retrograde, R for relax, Virgo. This is in your area of true love. Slow it down. Don't be like the Mars influence in the beginning of the month where it aligns with Saturn and it's like trying to force. Just take it easy with this. And Pluto, too. So Pluto is going to go retrograde on April 22nd, same area. This area has to do with true love in your life. So just, retrograde. It's going to retrograde till September 30th. And Pluto is about intensity. So just slow it down a bit and take your time with your love situation. Just let it develop naturally. And then there's a full moon on April 29th, and this one has to do with communication. So any development regarding communication in your life, getting your message across potentially for some of you, others of you receiving an important message. That's all for you this month, Virgo. Thank you for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe, share, and like. I'm on Instagram, Gregory Furlan Astrology. Thank you for watching. Have a great month. I'll see you next time.